King, and the project I'm working on is an SMS sending vending machine. A little bit of background: a few weeks before school ended, I met up with some people, and they were planning to go on a trip to Ghana, and they were trying to pull together some ideas of what sort of projects they should bring with them. They sort of refer to themselves as social scientists, which means they try to study a culture or people and try to figure out different ways that they might be able to help out. So this trip, I said, is going to Ghana, which is right here in Africa. It's part of the sub-Saharan African region, and that's important because one of the things that they were looking into was how they might be able to help with AIDS prevention. It's estimated that 34 million adults in the world are living with HIV and AIDS. It's estimated that 22.9 million of those are from the sub-Saharan African region, which is a huge portion of that. 1.9 million newly infected in the sub-Saharan African region each year, and 5% of the population, or the adult population, is thought to be living with HIV/AIDS. I'm just kind of throwing out a bunch of numbers, but this is a graph of all the different regions, and this red region down here is the adults and children living with HIV and AIDS in the sub-Saharan African region. So out of the entire world, it's about 66% live in the sub-Saharan African region. And this is newly infected each year. Most of them, again, are in the sub-Saharan African region. And AIDS-related deaths, again, about 2/3 are from the sub-Saharan African region. So they were thinking, what different ways would they be able to help? And they were thinking they might be able to provide contraceptives such as condoms to help lower the rates of AIDS. But the problem they ran into is a business problem. They can't just give away the product. As you can see here from the alternative world of sports, a lot of the companies that make these shirts, they give them away to different regions of Africa because obviously they can't sell them in the States because they didn't actually win the sports games. But this is shown to be really bad for the African economies, because any textile industry that's making clothing in that region, now they can't sell their clothing because everybody's getting clothing for free. Another issue, do you know the Tom's shoes? Every pair you buy, they give away a pair for free. They've run into problems where they send over a shipment to the villages every 6 months or so, but the children will wear through the shoes in every 4 months. Instead of buying another pair of shoes, they just go 2 months without shoes, which is worse than it was before. So we decided we can't just give away all the condoms, so we're gonna have to sell them. But can we make the selling easier? Well, we decided we would try sort of an automated system or a vending machine, and we wanted to try to involve technology because we're RPI, and that's what we did. So we were looking, and we were trying to figure out, well, what technology is available in these African cities. We really weren't that sure at the beginning, but we found out that they have they don't have very much in the way of internet or regular phone service, but they have a really strong cell phone service. People will have multiple cell phones to do different things because all the cell phones work off SIM cards, and they're no contracts, it's all prepaid. So some of the SIM cards will have unlimited texting, some will have internet on your phone, and some will have actual calling. So they'll just sort of swap around. So we decided we were going to work on their cell phone infrastructure, and we're going to have an Arduino run everything with a GPRS shield. And since they're social scientists, they want to sort of be able to collect data. They want to figure out where people are buying, when people are buying, so they can sort of, in the future, target different places to get the best bang for their buck. So we wanted to be able to allow data collection and also improve the refill response time. We wanted to be able, like the main purpose of working on this cell phone system was to be able to know when the machine is low or when the machine is empty. So you could go and fill it. But otherwise, you're just sort of, oh, well, maybe once a week I'll go fill it or something. And then maybe one day you're filling it and you haven't sold any. One time you're filling it, you have been out for like 5 days. So we wanted to make it a lot better for businesses to pick up our model of these vending machines to sort of stimulate their economy and also distribute condoms. So my goals, well, right now we have 5 of these machines shipped out, and there's a group of people putting them up in Ghana. My goal is to troubleshoot anything that goes wrong, because I'm sure things are going to go wrong just because they're so far away. And that's the way things go. I'm also working on a new version. This is going to be more for like the businesses rather than the social scientists. It's going to be sort of more energy efficient because they have to run off batteries, and it might be really annoying to have to go change the batteries that often. So I'm looking into sort of the Arduino interrupts and sleep modes. I meant to do that before, but I sort of ran into a time crunch because we had to ship them off so early. And sort of like a better hardware setup so that the sensors that we're using don't use as much electricity. And one of the problems with the shields that we have, or the current setup, is we don't know if it has service or not. Because you know how service sometimes fluctuates. Like one time you're sitting in a spot and you have full service, another time for some reason you can't send texts. So the problem is right now it doesn't know if it has service or not. It tries to send a message, and if it doesn't have service, it just won't send the message. So if it sends the "I'm empty, come fill me up" and there's no service, you'll never get it. And that's one of the problems. So I'm trying to figure out, working with the shield, trying to figure out if there's a way that I can detect whether it has service or not. So these are the goals for the next month. Thank you to the usual people, Sean O'Sullivan, Professor Murthy, RCOS, and the team in Ghana. They're the ones doing all the dirty work right now. But it's been a great experience, and I'm really glad I had this opportunity. Any questions? Yes.
Well, it's more common than a question, but it seems like the kind of application that would be perfect for a Launchpad or MSP 430 based thing, because they're incredibly power efficient, and you most likely don't need a lot of computational power.
When I got aboard the project, they had already started with the Arduinos and the shields, and the problem is I'm not exactly sure. It sounds like a great thing to use it for, and I wish I could, but I wouldn't know how to like adapt the shield for the 430 Launchpad.
Right.
Yeah.
I imagine, I've never used the shield, so I don't know, but I imagine it's just communicating with the shield over some sort of serial or SPI or CSI. In which case, you would basically be able to port the code almost directly, as the Launchpads, most of the MSP 430 chips have hardware UARTs as well. To communicate each other.
I imagine, that's probably something else I should be looking into.
Are these inside all of them, like inside on solar power or something?
The problem with the vending machines is, the reason we chose vending machines was because we could put them in like private locations, such as bathrooms and stuff, where there's nobody to like judge you for buying them, because it is sort of a taboo subject even here in the United States, but it's even more so in the region we're putting them in.
The way it's set up now, what kind of battery do they use, do you know? I'm just curious, because I imagine the vending part of it uses a lot more power than the actual...
The vending part of it, actually, we have a like a fully mechanized, so it's just, there's no electricity in the actual vending part. Okay. It's just in the sending and receiving of texts.
So how does it allow you, or it isn't?
We have like sensors on the inside to tell when condom goes through the door and stuff like that. So mostly just
So
like
the vending machines are completely mechanical?
yeah.
Okay, so you're just adding sensors
Yes.
to an existing vending machine. Okay.
So who's paying for these vending machines and who gets the money that they put?
Right now we are. So there was a grant that we're working off of to put these in. The money that comes from them is right now going to the hospital that supplies us with condoms. So we're pretty much selling the condoms at about market rate. So
It's like a nonprofit?
pretty much, yeah. Yes.
Is it as well, are you planning to expand to more of Africa or?
Actually, yeah. There was somebody who contacted us, and they're from RPI, but they live in LA, and they were wondering if they might be able to like put it out there as well. So we are sort of looking into other places of where we can put it. Yes.
Do you have some kind of machine receiving the text messages?
Right now we just have like a cell phone that's dedicated to receiving the text messages, or that's how they say it'll be set up. But we actually, a previous project that we've worked on, or I haven't worked on it, but this group has last summer, it's a modem attached to a computer, and you will, if you're in the region, you text it, and then it'll text you back saying, name some locations near you, and you like text some landmarks, and they tell you where the nearest machine is, where the nearest vending machine is. Since they don't use, in the city that they're in, each of the streets have names, but nobody ever refers to them by name, so everything's referred to by landmark. So we try to incorporate that into the system that can tell you where the closest vending machine is.
Because one of the things that you could do if you had just not use a cell phone is you could have to send a message back. That's a message if you repeat.
Oh, yeah, so what I was going with that is, since we have that modem hooked up to a computer, we can, in the future, have it so it does that exact thing.
Is there a specific program, like open source program that like helps get text message from modem to like computer?
I'm not exactly too familiar with the that part of it, but I'm not exactly sure. Any other questions? Thank you.